former White House advisor for the Trump administration and host of Newsmax's own The Gorka Reality Check, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Dr. Gorka, we just heard from Jason Miller, but I want to first get your take on Trump's VP pick, the RNC less than a week away. You told me a few weeks ago on this show that you have a hunch as to who Trump will pick. Jason Miller confirming that Senators Rubio and Vance are on the short list, as well as Governor Burgum, but he added that there are also a few more names on that list as well. You know the former president very well. What does your gut tell you?
That we need somebody who isn't just going to be the usual vice president who goes to the funerals the president doesn't want to go to, but is actually given some concrete portfolio and gets to work for the America First agenda, whether it's, reforming the CIA or dismantling the FBI because it has become a political police force, or whether it's dealing with the investigations of what really happened in Wuhan and Fauci's responsibility. We need a vice president who can bring something to the table with his own portfolio or her own portfolio. And then on top of that, we need somebody who in 4 years' time can pick up the mantle of America First and can be that MAGA president for when President Trump finishes his second term. So, for me, those are the key functional aspects. And then on top of that, we need somebody who's fully simpatico with the president and who understands why in 2016, 64 million Americans chose somebody who'd never run for political office before. So you have to intimately understand what happened, how MAGA was built on the ashes of the Tea Party. So if all of those things are met, I'm going to be happy, and so are the Trump voters.
So who do you think helps Trump the most politically?
The calculus of who's the second on the ticket and who they bring in terms of the Electoral College, that's 20th century thinking. Back then, it used to be, if you've got a Yankee on the top of the ticket, you've got to have a Southerner as vice president or vice versa. I don't think that matters anymore. It is such a binary choice. On November the 5th, it's going to be either do you want to save America, then you vote for President Trump, or are you a self-loathing anti-American who's fine with a corrupt Biden for another 4 years, or whichever puppet they put in instead of Joe Biden because of his mental decrepitude. So I really don't think in terms of the election itself, it really matters. And we don't have to play DEI. We don't have to play, diversity hire politics like they do. And look what kind of a mess it got them in. If Joe Biden steps down, which is increasingly likely because everybody knows he's now compromised mentally, how do they skip over the female black deputy diversity hire? So I don't think we need to play those games.
Yeah, so you mentioned Joe Biden. He wrote a letter yesterday to Democrats in Congress saying that he will not step aside and that it's time for the party's drama to end. We already know that 6 House Democrats have publicly called for Biden to get out of the race. Does this letter do anything to quell calls from others to have him step aside?
No, this is, a ransom letter. As my producer, Jeff, pointed out, they have to leave. The big donors have pulled out. As such, look, this is the most corrupt family in America. This is a ransom letter. They're negotiating the deal right now. How much money they get, what kind of sinecures they're offered, what kind of political protection and legal protection Hunter, Jim, Frank, Joe, and everybody else in the family gets when they leave. So this is just a bargaining chip. He's got to go because when the big donors say, you're not getting money from us, then they have to leave. That letter is just, hey, buddy, what are you going to give me to leave?
Do you think that the 25th Amendment will actually be invoked?
No, not in a month of Sundays. It would be such a self-burn. Remember, to invoke the 25th Amendment, you have to have 2/3 of the cabinet. You have to have the vice president concur, and then Congress has to vote on it as well. There's no way the Democrats are going to do that to their own brand. They are wicked, they are evil, but that's just such an utter, complete embarrassment. No, they're going to cut a deal with Jill, with Joe, with Frank, with Hunter, saying, okay, we're going to look after you. Kamala's going to give you pardons in advance for any of the other crimes that will be, proven by the laptops. And these are the jobs. This is the money you're going to get. So no 25th Amendment, just some horse trading and some dirty deals behind closed doors.